Dexter New Blood, episode 10, titled Sins of the Father, and this episode is pretty much a really well done, a really satisfactory ending, which is basically nearly an hour epilogue. That's what this episode is a big epilogue, and yes, the big core of, it's the final episode thing is Angela arrests Dexter for murder, and she is drawn and saying the words, "You're the Bayard the Butcher, you're the Bayard the Butcher, you're the Bayard the Butcher, you're the Bayard the Butcher, you killed this person, you killed that person, it's all linked, the neural nets, the this and X, Y, and Z. You are the Bayard the Butcher," and that's kind of the analogy thing. But they don't treat it as this big giant thing. They treat it as this is the story is running to its end. The story is running down to the final chapter. And it's handled really well. Now, I will say this. It is quite, as something I have mentioned about the show, is see Dexter in situations we have seen him before, but with different circumstances. In this case, it's different people. We have seen Dexter being in a corner and someone says, "You're a serial killer. Something's wrong with you, Dexter. Something's wrong with you, Morgan. What's wrong with you?" But because it's not Miami Metro, there's not many people who can vouch for him. There's not many people who can say, whoa, it can't be Dexter. It can't be Dexter. He's the black spider guy. He gave us donuts, for God's sakes. He gives us free donuts. He cannot be a serial. He gives, and also, have you seen his romantic interest stuff? Look at Rita. Look at Hannah. Look at Lila. Do you think a serial killer would date all those three women? Probably not. But because Dexter doesn't have that, all the tricks that normally would work doesn't work, because Lila's all like bullshit. That's bullshit over there. You're fucking with my head. Fuck you, Morgan. Basically, she's as smart as Dexter. And you have this nice cat and mouse game out through it. And I will talk about the final scene of how they wrap it up of it. Well, not the final scene, but kind of like the last, Dexter scene. I will talk about that at the very end. But I want to talk about the rest of the stuff. But what I really enjoy about it is that with this episode, it's kind of saying to us, yes, it is Dexter. You're going to see him kill. You're going to have the dark pasture. You're going to have Deborah swearing into his ear and say, "What the fuck is wrong with you? You cocksucking fuck." That's probably the actual quote that Deborah would say. But the actual core story is about a son trying to reunite with his father and a father trying to reunite with his son. And it's kind of keeping that core aspect of it while having the whole story about Dexter heading back to Miami in handcuffs and might get the electric chair. You got that story, but it's at the core, because all Dexter cares about is get back to Harrison, get back to Harrison, get back to Harrison. And it's handled really well in this weird way, and that's what Harrison's feeling about it. I felt he wouldn't want, even though if they went open-ended, but it kind of closed, and maybe they're open to we'll make do a season 2 type thing. I was like, you know what? Harrison might not want to go back. Basically, Harrison's happy to be here, and Dexter is back being a loner. He's going to go to LA. That's what because out through the entire episode, he's like, I don't want to leave my girlfriend. I'm making friends. And my friends that I feel like I'll know them forever because it's a small town. You got all of those moments. It's so driven by the characters in this episode. And also Dexter's past is kind of haunting him. Little lines, little hints that kind of have Dexter kind of look back at all of the innocent people who have been affected because of him. Like Wheater and Deb and Dokes and Lundy and Regretta and numbers and numbers and numbers of them. It's so driven by characters. And this whole series, this whole 10 episodes has been nothing but brilliance. But how they wrap it up, it's just very character driven, very close towards it. And with the ending of, which is a trend, if you really think about it, this is a trend lately. And that is, you're going to make one more movie or one more series of a show. What do you do to tell the audience that, we're not doing another series? What are you going to do? I guess? You killed the main character off. And mainly ones with characters' names that attach. So, I don't know, Logan, you kill off Logan. We can't be back because he's dead now. How you tell that this version of James Bond in No Time to Die is the final version of this character? You kill him off. Final season of Arrow, you kill him off. In this case with Dexter, you kill him off. To tell the audience that, we're not going to do this ball again, and we're not going to do an open ending. We're going to wrap it up. And which I always kind of predicted they were going to kill him off, just because how they were talking about, how they were treating this more like season 8 part 2, how mostly they were talking about we should give people a more of an ending, a satisfying ending than the one we originally ended with. Like all of those things, and it's just, and with the death himself, like the actual death, it's not, oh my god, we're saying goodbye to our main character and he's dying. It's like, he's just a dude laying on the ground. It's like all the sins, all the dark passages, all the horror that Dexter, because I think this episode is kind of in a way punishing us for us saying like, Dexter, like he's just killing the bad guys, for like 9 seasons. Us, in a way, it's kind of punishing the audience and trying to remind us that this is a serial killer. Dexter Morgan's a serial killer. He murders people. His major hobby is that. He's nothing. He is nothing worse. He is nothing better than the people that he chops up. He's nothing worse. It's fun. It's been fun talking about the show, and me, who's been watching the show since 2007, because season 2 was out, and they kind of did like in a way like what season 1, and then the next day immediately season 2. So I've been watching the show since day 1 in Australia wise, and way before I probably should have watched it, like I don't know, 10 or something, and just been a fan of the show and knowing the ending of it. So it's kind of fun just talking about it for the last 10 weeks. And I mean, if you're asking, hey, I kind of just watch you to talk about Dexter, what else you're going to plan to have? Peacemaker's coming out this week, so I'll probably cover that.